there, welcome back to my channel. And hey, welcome back to another Quick Take Reality Star Celebrity News Edition. And y'all, we are getting into who may be coming back to Vanderpump Rules Season 11. Now, if you're like me and been catching up on all things Vanderpump Rules, that has been such a hot topic question as to whether or not all of the cast members are going to be returning back for a new season. Now, also, if you have been watching the reunion, which I actually did a recap, review, and chat on all 3 parts on my live tab, so make sure you go out on the platform and check it out under the live. And I'll also be recapping, reviewing, and chatting about their Hidden Secrets show that actually aired this week, so be looking out for that as well. So with that, let's go ahead and get into this quick take. According to Stylecaster, who's coming back to Vanderpump Rules Season 11? Is everyone returning after the Scandoval? Some reappearances from past cast members might take place. Keeping up with Scandoval, many viewers of Bravo's Vanderpump Rules were on their toes after the Season 10 reunion of the show. It's not long until the next season will be filmed, and we're still in the shadows for who's coming back for Vanderpump Rules Season 11. Season 10 of the hit Bravo show revolved around Tom Sandoval and Raquel Leviss' affair after Tom cheated on his partner of 9 years, Ariana Madix, with her then best friend. The news broke in March of 2023, and the internet cannot get enough of this mess. As y'all may have seen, Ariana had made a post on Instagram amid Scandoval and thanked her friends for being her support group. Hi. Where to begin? I want to express my most sincere gratitude for the outpouring of love and support I have received from friends, family, and people I've never even met in the last 2 weeks. When I have felt like I couldn't even stand, you all have given me the strength to continue and see me through my darkest hours, she wrote. To say I have been devastated and broken is an understatement. However, I know that I am not in this alone. So many of my closest friends are also grieving this loss right now and reeling from this betrayal on so many levels. I am so lucky to have the best support system in the world, and I hope I can repay every single person for the love you have shown me. What doesn't unalive me better run. Love, Ariana. Tom made his own, shall I say, controversial Instagram post in March of 2023, and he apologized for all the damage he has done. I want to first and foremost apologize to everyone I've hurt through this process. Most of all, I want to apologize to Ariana. I made mistakes, I was selfish, and made reckless decisions that hurt somebody I love. No one deserves to feel that pain so traumatically and publicly, he wrote. I can only imagine how devastating this has been for Ariana and everyone around us, he continued. I feel really horrible about that. My biggest regret is that I dishonored Ariana. I never meant to disappoint so many people, including our loving families and friends. Though Raquel and Tom broke up on May 17, 2023, the tension, the despair, and all things drama were ultimately highlighted among the cast in the BPR Season 10 reunion. But will the cast return for Vanderpump Rules Season 11? And will there even be some surprise reunions? Well, let's go ahead and dive right on in. Is Lisa Vanderpump coming back to Vanderpump Rules? Well, status, according to this sharing, it's confirmed. Yes, Lisa Vanderpump is returning to her show for Season 11. In an interview on Access Hollywood, Lisa had said that she is not eyeing to return to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills because of her own show. I'm opening 2 new restaurants this year. I've got Vanderpump Rules, I've got the Dog Foundation. I don't think I would have any time. Second, is Ariana Madix coming back to Vanderpump Rules? Well, apparently this status is also confirmed. And yes, Ariana Madix is returning to Vanderpump Rules for Season 11. In an interview with the Los Angeles Times, Ariana Madix confirmed that she would be down to get back onto the show, but would be very reserved and not interact with Sandoval and Raquel, as she just wouldn't hang out with them. It's not up to us who comes back, she told the newspaper. I'm just going to be doing me. Me doing me means they are not part of my life. Next up, is Tom Sandoval coming back? Status? Most likely. It's most likely that Tom Sandoval will come back to Vanderpump Rules Season 11, though the cast for Season 11 isn't confirmed. Executive producer Alex Baskin confirmed that his and Raquel's contracts are being renegotiated for the next season. I think everyone's wrapping their heads around what that might mean, Baskin told Variety. No one's saying no, I'll say that. But I think it's hard for anybody to say yes right now because they feel like they haven't gotten any reprieve. Next up is Raquel Leviss coming back to Vanderpump Rules. Status? Most likely. Raquel Leviss is most likely returning to Vanderpump Rules Season 11. At the Season 10 reunion, she told Andy Cohen on a one-on-one confessional, though some of the cast has qualms with it. "I can picture us filming together because I've had to picture it," Sheena Shea said. "That's the name of the game, but I can't envision what type of event that would be at. And it would have to be something Lisa Vanderpump hosts," she explained, "because they're not getting invited to any birthday parties, that's for sure." Ariana herself had something to say about filming with her ex-lover and ex-friend. "I have nothing to say to either of them," Maddox told the New York Times. "Our show is very real and follows a real group of friends, and neither of them are in the group of friends, so good luck." In April 2023, Raquel voluntarily checked herself into a mental health facility amid Scandoval. Raquel and her family decided before the relationship was discovered that she would enter a voluntary facility for mental health counseling, read a statement from the reality star's rep. Raquel had planned to admit herself before the VPR reunion was taped on March 23rd. She was scheduled to go in pre-reunion, but decided she wanted to finish her filming commitment. Bravo and production were aware and in support of her journey towards better mental health. She re-entered the facility after the reunion upon the completion of filming the reunion. Raquel entered a voluntary inpatient behavioral health and trauma facility and remains there to date, 68 days and counting, an insider told Us Weekly. Her treatment is helping her learn the basis of her decisions and to grow from her mistakes with the hope of making better choices and becoming a better person. Next up, is Sheena Shea coming back to Vanderpump Rules? Status? Most likely. It's most likely that Sheena Shea will come back to Vanderpump Rules Season 11. It was up in the air if Sheena was able to participate in the Season 10 reunion after Raquel filed a restraining order from her after she alleged that Sheena punched her in the face after learning about the affair. Sheena will be present at today's filming in person. Sheena intends to follow the law, but she wants to be part of the reunion, her attorney, Nima Rahami, said in a statement to Page 6 before the reunion. If Rachel attends, Sheena and Vanderpump Rules will make sure that Sheena remains 100 yards away to comply with the restraining order. Both Sheena and Raquel attended the reunion, as you all would have seen. Next up, is Katie Maloney coming back to Vanderpump Rules? Well, status here is confirmed. Katie Maloney is returning to Vanderpump Rules Season 11. In an interview with the Los Angeles Times, she talked about how her friends have her back and she would be willing to go on for another season. "I've got my friends. I've got Ariana Maddox. I've got Lala, me, and Sheena are getting along. There's enough to work with, and we have the sandwich shop. They're all kind of the last thing on my mind. There's so much great things happening and so much other stuff to worry about. It's not for me to worry about how you fit into my life, because you're not in my life." Next up is Tom Schwartz coming back to Vanderpump Rules. Status here? Most likely. Tom Schwartz might be coming back to Vanderpump Rules for Season 11, though he's taken an indefinite break from his business partner, Tom Sandoval. He made a big mess, and then, he left it for us to clean up back at the businesses, he told host Jax Taylor and Brittany Cartwright on Reality Hits with Jax and Brittany. "And it's hard for me not to be resentful of him. H exploited me because, I do love Tom, and I took to heart everything he told me about Maddox." On an episode of the podcast, Stars on Mars, he talked about how Scandoval affected him and how he's taking a break from talking about it altogether. "It seems each time I try to weigh in or talk about, ramble on about it, drivel on, I inevitably sound like I'm somehow justifying it or making excuses for it, and I'm not," Schwartz said. "There's just no excuse for it. Any sort of version of the side of the story has become obsolete because of the way he handled it. Ultimately, that's his life. That is his life," he added. "I did not have an affair. I am not him. It's just so strange that I have been absolutely mirrored in this. It's taken on almost a life of its own." Schwartz finalized his stance and is now stepping away from it permanently. Scandoval, that is. Next up is Lala Kent coming back to Vanderpump Rules. Well, the status here is confirmed. Yes, Lala Kent will be coming back for the 11th season of Vanderpump Rules. During the Season 10 reunion episode, she joked about how the cast wouldn't be fazed by a bombshell during filming. "I do have a hard time believing it would shake us so much that we wouldn't come back. I mean, we were so desperate to be on camera when we signed up for reality TV," she said. "There's not much that's gonna make us run." Next up is James Kennedy coming back to Vanderpump Rules. Well, status here, most likely. It's very likely that James Kennedy will be returning for the 11th season of Vanderpump Rules. He actually teased the drama of the Season 10 reunion episode. Just watched part 3 of this reunion, and let me just tell you, he posted on his Instagram stories on June 6th, if you were thinking that you were over it or you were ready to forgive anyone, just watch tomorrow and you are going to get shot right back to the square one. Remember, we talked about that on the part 3 recap and reviews chat as well. Next up is Jax Taylor coming back to Vanderpump Rules. Well, status here is possible. It's very possible that Jax Taylor is coming back to Vanderpump Rules after a revealing interview with Rolling Stone. He talked about his ties with the cast and the show itself. If they didn't like me that much, they wouldn't have had me on Watch What Happens Live or The Peacock Show. I think the water is under the bridge with that. We had time to take a refresher, and here we are now. We all needed a break. I'm not upset or mad about how anything went down. It was actually good for my marriage, my son, and my mental health. When asked if he's coming back for season 11, he said, "We just can't talk about it right now, unfortunately. I wish we could." Next up is Brittany Cartwright coming back to Vanderpump Rules. Well, status here? Possible. It's very possible that Brittany Cartwright will come back for season 11 of the Vanderpump Rules with her husband Jax Taylor. On why she left the show with Jax, she told US Weekly, "Jax was kind of going through this phase where he was getting a lot of anxiety and stuff, and I was too. It can be tough to have everything judged and, have to relive things years later and or, months later, whenever it airs." She added, "So we look back now and Jax is always like, I took a lot of things for granted. I can look back and learn from my mistakes and grow from there. I feel like us having that break, especially going through COVID, being pregnant, postpartum, and all that stuff, I'm so glad I didn't have to deal with that on camera." She teased about her potential appearance on the next season. I don't know. We'll see. Next up is Kristen Doute coming back to Vanderpump Rules. Well, status here is, unconfirmed. It's not known whether or not Kristen Doute is coming back to Vanderpump Rules season 11. She came back in season 10 after being fired in 2020 amid Scandoval. "I pulled Ariana Madix aside and said, I'll do this if you want me to do it. I have nothing to gain and you may be very exhausted from having these conversations off camera. I am very aware that I can look thirsty. I might look like an opportunist." Doute told Rolling Stone, she said to Madix, "Being on Vanderpump for this one scene doesn't mean no favors. But if you need me there and you want this, then we'll do it." And she was like, "I really do. I really want you to do it. So I said yes." Well. Here we go with that recap. Now, are you guys surprised? I would love to know your thoughts. Let me know in the comment section below. Were you surprised to hear about all of the statuses for each one of the cast members for Vanderpump Rules? I'd have to say I'm not. I think that I was pretty much betting that after we saw part 3 and the so-called, bombshell of it all, that I didn't really feel like there was anything there that would necessarily prevent someone from actually continuing on with the show for season 11. And if anyone did have an issue with continuing on, the individual that I thought would have that issue would be Ariana. But even with that, Ariana is living this nightmare of a situation with this scandal, right? With this betrayal. I just didn't see that this would be something that would stop her from coming back. She has such a great, huge support system. The fans love her. Now, at the end of the day, yes, there's people who may feel a little bit different about the situation. There are some people who feel like, hey, you lose them how you get them. And I understand that too. And clearly she does too. But she does have an outpouring of support from people. So therefore, she's going to rely on that continued support of her close friends and family and, those who support her in the fan world as well. And of course, you got this new shop here, the sandwich shop with something about her. I mean, it's quite the buzz right now. Would it have been that way had this scandal hadn't taken place? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on that below. But it is something that's going to be opening up. Everybody is curious to know what's going to happen, after Scandoval, after the divorces, after the fact. And when I say divorces, the only person who had divorce was Katie and Tom Schwartz, right? Ariana and Tom were life partners, however that was going to arrange, but it wasn't an actual marriage, although I'm sure it felt like it every day. Anyways, that being said, I just didn't see that. And quite frankly, Katie also truly amazes me in the fact that she's able to continue moving on even after the situation with Tom Schwartz. And I think that's really great that she can still be in that kind of a taping space with her ex, who she's known for so many years, and all of the things that popped up throughout the years and the constant things that we hear about, past cheatings and all of those things and just not being present in the marriage. So to not carry that with her every single day in just everyday life and then being able to also still be able to move forward in the show, I think it stands to be one of those things that is commendable. Now, of course, the money is going to always be a factor in the situation. And at the end of the day, some people are going to say, look, you don't let anything stop you from getting your bag. And hey, I'm here for it. I think that's great. More people would benefit from that kind of situation, especially when you enter into something that happens that puts everything else on hold for you. And it's just not fair, right? You should be able to do what you need to do and continue to prosper in life. And this is what's working for them. So at the end of the day, there's no lie that the ratings went through the roof after the Scandoval situation. It's an unfortunate situation that occurred, but there are some positives that came out of it. And really, at the end of it all, there's a whole lot of individuals with a new lease on life. So let me just go down just a couple of individuals that I think they're going to come along. And I don't really know why it's not necessarily settled that they wouldn't, unless there's something else behind the scenes we don't know. But pretty much everybody I knew was going to be there, okay? As far as James and Allie, unless something explodes within them, and even if that was the case, I don't see James and Allie, well, they didn't even reference Allie, but James staying in the kind of possibility or most likely category. I think that they're definitely going to come back for a new season. He's popping off with his GJ stuff, and I'm sure he's going to want to share a lot of that. And, if he has an opportunity to really be able to get the information that he needs more of and talk more of what happened with the Scandoval situation, he's going to take that opportunity. That's just what it is. Now, for Sheena Shea, at the end of the day, I remember Sheena saying she was perplexed by the fact that how she did not get a full-fledged apology from Raquel for, the temporary restraining order and just everything else in general. And so I remember something that she had shared, and what she was like, she would do a sit down, I believe. Now, I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure of that she had said, so we'll just say allegedly at this point. But I believe that she had said that, yeah, she would do a sit down and have that conversation with her. And at the end of the day, this would be the opportunity to have that. Like, she doesn't have to film with her all the time. So I was really surprised about the whole kind of a most likely category for her. I thought that was a shoo-in because her situation wasn't damaged as far as her personal situation, with Rock and her intermediate family. Now, of course, with the friendships and stuff, all of them are banding together. So at this point, it doesn't seem much to be an issue where she shouldn't be there. So, and I'm sure Ariana would love to have her on the show continuing. And I think that's what we'll see. Inevitably, that's what we'll see. Now, as far as Jax and Brittany, for me, I can take them or leave them. I wasn't a massive fan of Jax. There's some things that I did over the years that, of course, that I wasn't really fond of. And there's also been stuff behind the scenes that come out. But nevertheless, if he's there, he's there. If he's not, he's not. I don't know. If there's a real storyline there that can continue them on, then fine, whatever. We'll just have to see, I guess. And then Kristen Doty. I'm not a fan of Kristen either. I would like to hope and believe that people can grow, right, and evolve. In most cases, people do grow and evolve. I don't know. Is it necessary for her to be on the show? No. Is she somebody I'm going to be watching the show for? No. So at the end of the day, don't they do Friends of? If they did like that kind of situation where how the Real Housewives do Friends of, not just full-fledged housewives, then that might make more sense to me. I just don't see where there's a fit continually with the storylines that are being presented. But of course, things are going to be all kinds of different now with Scandoval. This has changed so many things. So we'll just have to wait and see. But like I said, for her, yeah. My opinion, my thoughts. So if you feel differently, go ahead and throw those down in the comment section. But I would like to know your thoughts, of course. So let me know. Are you surprised to hear the statuses? Or are you surprised that some of them are coming back? Or are you just kind of like, no, I expected all of them to come back? Let me know. And then how did you enjoy the Vanderpump Rules season? If you watched it, if you were able to catch all of the reunions, what did you think about that? Just overall, let me know your thoughts about Vanderpump Rules. Drop those down in the comment section. I would love to know. And of course, if you are new here, go ahead and join the family. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Make sure that you have your all notification bells on so you don't miss a video and upload, lives, or still videos, either way. Or the recap and review chats as well. That being said, thank you so much for being here. I so appreciate you hanging in and watching. And make sure you leave those thoughts about Vanderpump Rules down in the below. About this sharing, as well as anything about the season, I would love to know your thoughts. So go ahead and drop those down. And of course, don't forget to leave a like on your way out. Stay safe, take care, and be blessed. And until next time, bye.